President Trump likes to open investigations. In his so-called perfect phone call to President Vladimir Zelensky in 2019, our president suggested that Zelensky could do him a favor. At the time, Trump was holding back $4 million in military aid which Ukraine needed. The favor Trump asked for? Trump wanted President Zelensky to announce the opening of a Ukrainian investigation into Joe and Hunter Biden. Results would not matter. Announcing an investigation would be enough to damage Joe Biden's reputation and weaken his candidacy for president in 2020. To his credit, President Zelensky chose not to interfere in U.S. politics, even though Trump seemed to hold all the cards. Trump lost the 2020 election and then telephoned the Georgia Secretary of State. What favor did he ask of Secretary of State Raffensperger? If the secretary would find 11,780 votes, Trump said, that would be enough to swing Georgia's electors over to Trump. Secretary Raffensperger refused, but he had to stand firm against the president during an hour-long phone call. Trump urged Raffensperger to tell the public that election irregularities had been found, that some provisional ballots had to be thrown out, and the vote recalculated. The Republican Secretary of the State of Georgia knew that votes had been taken, processed, and counted properly. He was not willing to lie for Trump. Trump went to the extreme by suggesting that Raffensperger and his legal counsel would be committing a criminal offense if they failed to do as he demanded. Now, in 2026, Trump is using those familiar mob boss tactics against other United States citizens. His Federal Bureau of Investigation recently made a broad sweep across Ohio cities in search of a conspiracy. They served multiple search warrants, seizing electronic devices and documents. Why are FBI agents subjecting Ohioans to these intrusions? The persons targeted have a current or past connection with a group which supports voter registration efforts and promotes voting rights. Trump's FBI won't say what the investigation is about or give any reasons for the intimidating sweep. Further, the FBI apparently does not intend to make public the sworn affidavits they used to obtain the search warrants. It is, they say, an open investigation and further details cannot be released. Either the investigation is legitimate or it is not. We have no way of knowing. I will not name the targeted group here for fear of damaging their reputation more widely without any evidence. President Trump's history with fake investigations is revealing. This Ohio investigation could well be interpreted as an effort to intimidate voters and to suppress voter turnout. We need to monitor this to see whether the investigation goes anywhere. All evidence to the contrary, Trump still claims that the 2020 election was rigged. When Trump tried to overturn that election, there were sane members of his administration standing in his way. Now there are mostly bootlickers. The bootlickers are only too willing to intimidate voters. We must therefore turn out to vote in large numbers for the midterms. Vote for the opposition Democratic Party. We need overwhelming numbers of votes to overcome Trump's dirty tricks. These are our candidates in Jackson, Ohio.